entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
For the semifinals of the CC tournament. We'll see Michalka using the Parthian, hoping to close the deal. If he gets a win there, then he proceeds to the finals against Amilcar. For the Parthian build, we'll have quite an unorthodox build, I want to say. Some people might disagree. I consider it unorthodox, and I like a little bit of unorthodoxy, I guess you'd say. Let's go over it. There's going to be 4 Eastern Slingers. That's going to be Persian Hoplite, 4 Mercenary Hoplite. We see 4 Parthian Swords, interesting. Not a single Cataphract inside. Then we have 4 Noble Blood Cap, as well as a Noble Horse Archer. So, interesting build. Definitely, I'll... because so Parthia has a tough duty to break the RDI. So the question is going to be, can they dish out enough early game damage with the aid of their infantry and perhaps missile combine toward the Noble Hoplite, so that late game missiles can just end them, and then rear charge from Cav could potentially break them. So yeah, that's gonna be the game for Parthia. Earn those Mercenary Hoplite. Try to keep your Cav healthy. Try to keep your missiles healthy. We see 2 Mercenary Sarmatian Horse Archers, which is, I mean, I like this unit. It's definitely a good Horse Archer unit. Their task, though, is to bring down Tarantine Cav, and we know how important the Tarantine Cavs are for the RDI, because especially in this build, it appears there's no melee Cav at all for the RDI, so that means that the Mercenary Tarantine Cav are going to be his late game protection and his missile hunting unit. So it is crucial that you deal a lot of damage to them. I feel like the Horse Archer might have a tough time at doing that, unless microed well. And perhaps but one Horse Archer firing at the Tarantine is just not gonna have the quick result you'd hope for. You'd want a couple good volleys from the 2 Mercenary Sarmatian into Tarantine Cav. So we'll see. I mean, interesting pick, not a single melee Cav once again. So it's gonna be crucial, because even for late game, the Mercenary Tarantines becomes the rear protection of the RDI, the missile protection of the RDI. So it's crucial to lay some damage on them, especially when you have the Sarmatian or Archer, because this unit late game is not going to be able to hurt as much as a skirmishing skirmisher would. So we'll see. It's going to be crucial that the Tarantine takes some beating. A good play by the Tarantine so far. We see already there some brutal shot into the Sarmatian there. 6 loss and more to come. So beautiful jabs there. Let's see how the kills. Already up 7, 4, and 11. So beautiful job by the Tarantine. This is exactly what RDI wants early game. For the RDI build, we'll see Slave Slingers. 4 of them. They can be a nuisance, especially late game. Not a great slinger unit, but late game slingers always lay dirt. So it's all going to depend if they can survive late game and fire a depleted unit, or simply waste the ammo of their Eastern Slinger, which is going to be crucial, because then that ammunition doesn't end up into his Noble Hoplites. Speaking of the devil, we'll see 4 Noble Hoplites, I believe 4 Illyrian Marine, 2 Mercenary Axe Warrior, make that 4. Okay. So, yeah, last battle I really went down at the breaking down build. This one I'll really more focus on what's happening on the battlefield. So far, Tarantines laying down the earth for minimal loss. As a matter of fact, not a single loss. We'll see the Noble Horse Archer being forced to come in because of the pressure, well, forced, rather triggered to come in because of the presence of the Tarantines on that flank, which was firing a Mercenary Hoplite. I'm sure he was trying to fire perhaps at the Parthian Swords, which would be a good target because the Mercenary Hoplite won't do much against either the Axe Warrior or the Noble Hoplite, or as a matter of fact, the Illyrian Noble, or as a matter of fact, any unit in the goddamn game. Nice shots there into Eastern Slingers. I like that. Good counter there. Beautiful job. That's what he needs. He needs to damage those Tarantines ASAP. It has to be done. Has to be done. He has a lot of skirmishers to protect. But then again, only 3 cav for the RDI. So, I mean, definitely a bold call by the RDI there to just go for 3 cavalry. I would have loved to see perhaps one of those. I think the Illyrian cav is what they're called. Just maybe 1 for late game or something alongside those lines. I will stick there for a moment because it seems we have a Noble Horse Archers chasing Tarantines. Not the best target for the Horse Archer. Maybe it's just Parthia recognizing that this is all the cav that the RDI has, and then deem that if the missiles are kept healthy, then it's going to be fine, even at the cost of a lot of HP damage, I would assume, on this general, because we have a Illyrian Marine firing. Let us see the results of that. We have fighting in the background, then we see Slingers firing at Slingers. Interesting target. Let's focus on that first. Let's add the kills we're going to get from the Illyrian Marines. 0 so far. 7 kills on the Noble Horse Archers. The Tarantine is taking a beating quite slowly, though. We need to see precursors thrown into the Horse Archers. We have Jav thrown at them. Is that going to be a precursor into it? Yes. Beautiful. So 8 Noble Horse Archers off the field for the cost of quite a lot of Tarantines. A lot of that was a friendly fire, a bit more kills there. So probably good for the RDI, although it did take a bit of, especially on a unit like that, that's good late game because it remains healthy, like the Noble Horse Archers. There, it's just a bit rough. We're going to see a bit of a reckless play there with the median cav. Perhaps. So I missed the median earlier. I was calling them all Noble, but I think he's just baiting Javelins, quite frankly, in order to give his Noble chance. And while this happened, it allows his Slingers to get a rear shot. Nope, not even. It allows the Slinger to fire at stuff. So here we'll see disruption at the Axe Warrior. I'm assuming shots into them at any point. Nope. We still focus on the Slave Slinger. So when you do a move like that with Cav, in my humble opinion, you need to be ready for that exact moment. Go, go, go. Fire at his ass. I don't believe that's what's going to happen there. No, still firing at the Slave Slingers. So the Slave Slingers are digging into the ammunition of the Eastern Slingers right now, which is not good for Parthia at all, especially early game. So we've seen the Slave Slingers firing at the Parthian. Look at the minimal amount of casualty we have there. Now, yes, he is breaking the Slave Slingers, but you have the cavalry superiority, so that means you should be able to ignore, again, sorry, Mishalka, this is no offense to your capacity as a player, this is just me giving my concise. Again, so we see the Slave Slingers doing minimal damage early game. They're a late game unit. Late game, Parthia should have the cav ready to go after them, so I would rather see the Slingers really starting to dig at the health pool of the Illyrian Noble Hoplite. These are prime targets right now. Because arguably they're the only infantry right now that can really cause you big issues. Like, not to say that their Parthian swordsmen will do fine against anything else, but they will definitely not do well against the Illyrian Noble Hoplite. So these should be the target of the Slingers there. Let us look. You see the Tarantines has taken minimal damage. So if RDI remains on point with its Tarantine play, I could see a victory for them. Now we are starting. So you see, so it was a controlled aggression against the Slingers. So he basically routed them all, and then he can start focusing at the side. Yes, beautiful play there. Good job, Parthia. I love to see it. I kind of wish that unit would be already a bit depleted, and then when you would be getting those shots in, we would get a quicker route for them. But yes, indeed, there would still be Slinger firing about Slave Slingers. But like we said, early games, Slave Slingers are not as scary as most Slingers are, really. Maybe against Cavalry, but yep. Parthian engaging Mercenary Axe Warrior. We're going to see some rotation between the... a bit early rotation. The Mercenary there is going to take unnecessary loss, but it is getting a beautiful rear charge there against a Mercenary Hoplite. But we have the Parthian Skirmishers very well placed there to answer to that. Oh shit, that's not good. Tarantines got caught by Noble Bloodcav. Those Tarantines are absolutely crucial. You see, he got greedy for the missiles. I can't blame him at this point, but it just hurts to see. Ugh. Off goes the Tarantine. So the chances of RDI to win dropped considerably with that. We are seeing a bit of firing from the Noble Bloodcav. It's not the Slingers doing the damage, it's the Illyrian Marines. Again, I would like, even if he was to fire at missiles, I would have rather fired at Illyrian Marines, quite frankly, than Slave Slingers, because those jabs are way more dangerous. Way more dangerous. And as we've established, the Slave Slinger is more of a late game unit as far as damage is concerned, so yeah. Would have hunted them with Cav rather. And we'll still see focused fire on the Slave Slingers. Yep, not sure these are your targets, bro. So good job by the RDI to draw a lot of ammunition. Now we're starting to see a good target there for the RDI right into the Parthian General. This is absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. This unit should still be at 60 man in it if it wants to have an impact late game. It has basically been castrated at the moment. No balls left, none whatsoever. A gapping void for these units now. They won't be able to do damage. They'll die on the charge, especially against heavy units like the RDI there. Starting to see envelopment for the Illyrians. You see, Parthian swords kind of lack that punching power, don't they? Not doing too well against a mercenary Hoplite. I believe that's because they charge into... no, not even. This unit is fresh, so it seems like the Parthian swordsmen are losing to a regular Hoplite right there. I didn't catch the charge. Okay, Parthian line is starting to crumble, but we see a blob there of beautiful target for the Parthians. Let's set the damage done on the Mercenary on the Illyrian. So one completely LT Noble Hoplite General did take a bit of a beating. I would have rather see it in that state because it was focused on early game, and then damaging the infantry would have freed perhaps the infantry of Parthia. Again, this is just me watching and giving my feedback. I would not have done better. But yeah, I would have rather see infantry follow-ups because of a quicker infantry break for the RDI. Again, this is an incredibly hard matchup for Parthia. Noble Bloodcav there is not going to achieve jack shit. Nope. We'll have a very healthy Parthian swordsman. You see, and this is backing up my point further. If this unit was at 110 men, like the general was, because of early game slingers ignore. But then again, we see that RDI is doing very well at protecting their missiles there. So maybe my idea wasn't that good after all. But this forced the Parthian swordsman to get away. If this unit was depleted, the Parthian swordsman could have gotten a jab in there and truly wreak havoc on that unit. Probably not a rout, but big time damage. It's hard to tell. A lot of kills on the slingers. Those were mainly on slave slingers. So, I mean, the Parthian must be running low on ammunition. And then, again, I don't mean to be a dick, but what's happening there? What is happening there? Yeah. So that's a charge into heavily depleted slave slingers. I mean, it would have been better if they charged into very healthy slingers, which would have implied that the infantry of RDI would have been hurt more rather than that. We do get a rout on it, but that Noble Bloodcav is taking an absolute beating. And again, we should be seeing those rear charges You see, like a rear charge on that Illyrian Noble Uplite would have been a break on this one as well. So he could have freed 2 of his infantry instead of completely losing a Blood Cav for 3 depleted Slave Slingers. So misplay by Michalka there. Then again, Michalka is a newer player, so these are the kind of mistakes you make when you don't have freaking 5,000 hours of gameplay. Now we will see it. The rear charge, little too late. Let's see the effect that's going to have on the Noble. So the Noble Cav is going to completely melt. Perhaps the Parthian swords will do a bit better. Yeah, no, that unit is just too healthy for you to rear charge. You needed to focus on this side. We do get a rout at the end of the day, but these units would already be in the mix if we had seen that instead of a wasteful charge on a depleted slingers. Parthia is running very low on cav. Now the question is, do they have ammunition? This is looking good for Parthia if they have the ammo. Although we do see very healthy Illyrian nobles. Nice kills on the Parthian swords. It strikes me as the... still have ammo there? Yeah, we still have ammo on the Horse Archers. The Horse Archers need to be moving towards the sides there. We're seeing a movement there from the Illyrians. I would like to see shots as this is happening. Again, this is a lot too micro, but at this point you have to, in a semi-final stage of a tournament, you have to be on point. Especially that the winner, like if Parthia pulled this off right now, he's going to have to play Amilcar in the next game, and the performance we saw there is just not going to cut it. So we, he had the opportunity there to get quicker breaks, and we'll see. We'll see. Again, I don't mean to be bitching about the player's performance. I'm just reporting on what I'm seeing. Call me a journalist. Okay, we'll get a bit of a last stand in the forest and we'll fast forward this. Nice shots into the mercenary axe warriors. Although, is that really the target you want to damage? Or look, I believe we saw some ammo being lost there because we did see a small switch in the balance of power. Or rather, we're running out of ammo. Okay, you get rear shots in the Illyrian nobles right now. Okay, yeah, oh, actually, yeah, that's it. So the red is going to be representative of Sparta because the Illyrian Marine just fired their last jabs and the power burst switch. So we still have ammo for Parthia. Must be very low. He's firing. Okay, good. Oof. The Illyrian Noble Apite is not going to enjoy that Hellstorm. Okay, nice. Rear shots. Nice bait there. Good job, Parthia. That's beautiful play. Bait them in. Illyrian Noble, 80 man left. So these guys are going to start to drop like flies. I wish we would see this armation a bit closer. Go point blank, man. There's nothing to chase you. Go point blank. See that arrow right there missed because he's too far. He's too goddamn far. Mercenary Axe Warrior is going to brutalize the Parthian swords, but it is then getting... Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna flat out win against Parthia there. Oof. Yeah, the power bar is switching. And we get a concede from Parthia. So, good job, Black. Black is gonna extend those semifinals to a third game. Oh, fuck yeah, I like to see it. I'll be honest, I have the intro ready for game 3, so I was kind of aware this was gonna happen. Let's look at the stats. So, Parthia. One of the noble blood cav was completely wasted in order... Look at the kills on the slave slingers. They were melted by the Eastern Slingers, which justifies a lot of kills but not a single chevron. So these guys needed to fire at the Illyrian Noble Uplite early game. And then, late game, when the Noble Blood Cav did come into Slingers, it would have come into a juicy target of hundreds of them. Now I understand that the Slingers would have been hurting stuff in the meantime, but these are slave Slingers. They don't hurt. early game as much as they do late game. And late game is when you on them with Cav, so... Slave Singer is not doing much. Illyrian Noble... So 2 of them LT late game, so that's very good. One of it got crapped on, and so good job. Got to give Caesar his due. Partia did a good job against some of those Illyrian Noble Apite. It was just towards mid game. Early play for the Tarantines was absolutely impeccable, and then he got caught with a miss micro, so it's not as much as a strategic mistake, it's just a miss micro. Illyrian Marines, I find did a good job. They got good shots into cavalry when they got the chance. 130 kills there. Mercenary Axe Warrior, I mean, I would assume did some armor pen damage to the infantry, which then made it easier for the RDI. Mercenary Hoplite actually getting a nice chevron against Spartan Swords. Noble Horse Archers, that one was painful to watch. Sarmatian doing a decent job, not too many death, I guess, kept for late game. I would have liked to see blank shot late game, but it was a bit too late because Slinger's ammunition was all wasted on the Slave Slingers. Noble Blood Cav, okay-ish, 2 of them, 1 of it, no. The median Cav there, I believe, was just used to draw ammunition from the RDI, which is a move I'll agree with, quite frankly. I know not everybody's going to agree with that, but as long as you're able to then punish with your own slingers into the units that did come too forward in order to kill your bait Cav, then as soon as the infantry gets in, when they turn their back, your slinger have got to be ready to fire at the rear of the infantry. That's the only way that you can make this move pull off, pay off, forgive me, because then you get early armor pen damage with your HP damage, forgive me, early game on an infantry unit. And so that kind of justifies the cost of losing your median Cav. Nice job by the Parthian Foot Archers. Again, very tough matchup for Michalka there. I'm being rough on my analysis, but that's really just because it's semifinals and it's serious stuff. Mercenary Hoplite, 113 kill, good job. 73. So I like the use of the Hoplite by Partia. He kind of did a good job there. And I mean, what option does Partia have, really? And I don't know, maybe it was capped on 4 of the same there for the Parthian Swordsman. Like, Partia would be happy with 6 Parthian Swordsmen, I want to say, in this matchup. More than that, but I don't believe this was allowed. 171, 131, 57. So decent job by the Parthian Swords. I'm not sure if that started with a chevron. If it didn't, then it got kills on the crucial units. GG Black, good job. Black is gonna extend this into best of 3. So I'll send you guys this replay ASAP. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Sol Invictus signing off. Bye.